And welcome to another edition of the Wake Up Late with Dougie Show. I'm Dougie Almeida coming to you live from Simpsonville, South Carolina, where I'm blending in. Just back from Las Vegas, competed in the World Series of Comedy, made it to the semifinals, top 6 of 101 comics. Great time. We'll talk about it because today my guest actually joined me in the World Series of Comedy. He did not join me in the advanced rounds, unfortunately, because he basically, well, we'll have him share his story about that and much more today on the Wake Up Late with Dougie show. Without further ado, my good friend and fellow comedian, Gene Harding. What's up, buddy?
I give myself my own ovation.
Yeah, man. So what's up, dude? Long time no see.
I know, man. I'm very proud of you. I feel like you vindicated yourself after 2011.
Yeah.
You remember that story?
I was gonna bring that up because one of the topics I want to talk about, and let me ask you because we're going to talk about shit and things I want to ask you, but like the fraternity of comedy, and like being in the business at least a decade or more, you end up meeting people from all over the country, and then when you travel, you run into them again, and then just the beauty of it, of knowing all these fucking people, right, and getting it, and being able to shoot the shit when you're in a different geographic area anywhere in the country. So no, 2011. Yeah, 2011. I remember.
Well, listen. First of all, tell your fans, your viewers, your version of the story, so I can tell mine.
Well, I believe you and I, young comics in South Florida, right? We had an act. We were up and comers. We wanted to audition for what was called then the South Beach Comedy Festival. And I was you and I had made plans. Let's go. We're gonna go. We're gonna go audition. Sit in a fucking line. Wait. Do 3 minutes. Whatever the fuck it is. We wonder if we're gonna get chosen. And so I went to pick you up, but then we were kind of like, do we really want to fucking do this? I mean, do we really want to drive all the way to fucking Miami and go through this shit?
Right.
And we left it to chance, and we flipped a coin whether we would go to the South Beach Comedy Fest audition or go to like Tootsie's. I think we had an alternative to the actual
backup plan.
A backup plan, plan B. And I don't remember who flipped the coin, but we flipped the coin. And I remember you interpreted I believe you were the one who interpreted whether it was heads or tails. And you said, keep driving to Miami. We're auditioning to I think that's maybe what happened.
It was more than likely my coin because it was my last. So I'm sure that was my coin, and it was probably heads on both sides, and we was going to South Beach.
We were going, which worked out well because you advanced and were on that comedy festival.
I won it.
Yeah, so
I won it that year, and I wouldn't have won it if you didn't drive me there.
Yeah, thank you. I don't remember getting any royalties or VIG off that shit.
Right. You've been tight about that ever since, and now this time we go to Vegas. We in a bigger competition, and I don't even make it out of the tryouts for the commercial. Like I don't even make the. I'm barely in the top 101 comics. Like I was like 103. That's how I fared this week. And then you breezed right through into the top 6. That was pretty dope.
Yeah, thanks, man. And there you go. Well, they're calling right now.
That was my alarm. That was my alarm reminding me about the Doug show.
Thank you. Well, let me ask you this, because as somebody who's been in that position, and I felt that when I didn't go through the top 3, you're sitting there waiting to hear your name, because that's what happens. You do the show. In the first and the second round that you were in, there's basically 7 or 8 comics. I can't remember, and you all do like 8 minutes, and they pick 2 people, first and second, to advance to the quarterfinals. And when you're sitting there, just the agony, the angst of waiting to hear the fucking name. I mean, what is that like? for you?
So it's a mixed bag because when you get off that stage and you feel like you murdered it, you want to stay close to the stage because you be thinking they're gonna call your name. But
Yeah,
then you don't want to be presumptuous. You know what I'm saying? Like on the line, like you know what I'm saying? Right, right,
yeah,
like that.
yeah.
You know, like
You're
a
in the
track
starting
star, just waiting
position.
for them to shoot the gun.
Yeah,
So, so when I know I did a killer set, I stay close.
yeah,
Like, no, there were a couple of times where I had my hand on the doorknob for the stage. I'm like, they got to be calling my name. This wasn't it. This time,
right.
I was like, all right, I was strong, but it wasn't like I saw the other guys, and I was like, all right, don't. If they do call your name, then you just gonna have to run fast.
Yeah.
And so when they didn't call my name,
Yeah. Dude, well, two things. In all honesty, I was not there at that show, but I had heard, but a lot of people basically said it was a huge show. It was like, so when you don't get your name called, but it's not because, you can't, everybody, the person whoever got their name called, they fucking crushed it as well. It's like, whatever, what the fuck you going to do? You get pissed when you feel like you crushed it. And there's somebody who got their name called and you're like, what the fuck was that about? You know what I mean? That's the only time, but it does fucking irk you. You know what I mean? But what are you going to do if you don't fucking call
it
them?
really didn't bother me, man, because um, it really didn't bother me because what I got out of that whole experience was way worth it for me.
Yeah,
And and honestly, I mean, not saying that being a winner would have been a deterrent, but like I just don't want to feature no more.
yeah.
So if I got well, actually, I guess for me to get to that place, I gotta feature more. you know.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, people have the ability, what I call wormholing, because you have like, and I think of that in a sense in your career. When you started doing comedy, I was out there doing bonkers and shit and running around the fucking country doing B rooms and working and you were in A rooms with a major headliner and going around the country. And I was thinking, man, I wish I could fucking perform in those places. You know what I mean, man? But it was a different fucking route. We
Mhm.
fucking we went in two different ways. And it's funny, the grass is always greener because you're basically saying shit. I wish I was doing fucking
For
improv and all
sure,
over
for
the
sure.
country. You know what I mean?
Because listen,
But
I,
at
don't-
this,
I just so go ahead.
no, 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 go ahead.
No, I'm saying because I did Madison Square Garden. I performed at the Wilbur Theater in Boston. I did some dope places, and don't really have much to show for it aside from that memory. Like it wasn't my show. It wasn't my thing.
Right,
I happened to grace those stages and put that on my travel uh, uh, notch on the belt. But now that I think about it, I'd much rather be out pursuing my own dream, right? And so if I'm headlining that bunk, I'll take headlining at bunkers than performing for the janitors at the garden because that's pretty
right.
much when I went up. I went up like, dude, it was like in the garden. They was still preparing, still cleaning while I'm on stage. I was the very
Oh,
first
no.
dude.
Yeah,
And then so by the time the show got underway, that's when everybody filled in the theater. So I'd rather be doing my own thing. At least that's what I'm looking at things now. You know what I mean?
yeah. Well, a lot of comics we talked about it, and if somebody said to me, what do you think, why do you think you're in the place you're in? I think I just because of all the work, man, all the work. It's like travel the fucking country and I get on stage everywhere and I'm trying to do 30 minutes in front of every crowd I could possibly get in front of and deal with everything that I could possibly deal with. Polish the material, get polished myself, and fuck. I mean, it's repetition, right? It's all about continuity and all that stuff, and but it's interesting. You go two different ways. Um, yeah, buddy. I was going to ask you. So, well, I mentioned the first question was how far we go back. Well, we go back to fucking those days, and running around. Um, All right, the next question was, how was the World Series of Comedy? It's one of those America's Got Talent things, right? Like you don't necessarily have to win if one or two or three people see you, and that's a good thing about the festival is that there's good industry there. There's people that own comedy clubs. There's people that run rooms, and they see you. Like I have, a few people now that said, all right, I've seen enough. You can, and you mentioned like headlining. These are rooms you can go and headline.
Yeah.
Um, you know what I mean? Uh,
Hmm.
you get work, so it's great. You don't have to win the fucking thing. You just got to make sure you do a good job when you're on stage. Um,
Yeah, no, I thought you were about to say something. It,
nah,
it was fun for me because like that's why those satellites were cool. I didn't go there to necessarily win. I mean, I didn't go there to lose either, but the
yeah,
competition wasn't my focus. It was
right,
letting those clubs see a different brand. And that's what though yeah, a lot. Listen, I just wished I had gone on a little further just so they could see at least one more set. Because I got
yeah, yeah,
enough
yeah.
traction after one, but
Well, that's the key. That's the fucking key, and that was my goal when I got to the top six. Because if you made the top six, one of the cherries on the cake for the whole experience is you got to perform at the Dirty at 12:30 at the South Point Casino, which is an
mhm.
awesome show. It's at 12:30 in the morning. It's a dirty show. It's like it's great as a comic. Most of the time, you're getting on a show like, oh, I hope I'm clean enough. Speaking of that, remember we did a show one time for a charity at the old Hollywood Improv, and you went up and closed the show. It's supposed to be clean. You lost it, and you said, "Fuck it." You just started doing. I think me and
Yo,
Cisco or somebody was in the back, and you just fucking said, "Fuck it."
I was
I'm
I was
just gonna
just
go.
I was just talking to Monty Benjamin about that.
Holy shit, Monty.
But yeah, I remember being on the stage having it. I don't know how much time I was supposed to do, but it was supposed to be clean. This is early, and I was doing okay. Maybe a joke or two I got in clean, and then I felt that cool
Started.
bead of sweat. Like I felt it like leaking out the back. Right once it hit the spinal cord, that's when that's when I knew I got nothing left. And somebody even said that there was a pastor in the back, and it was in
Oh,
my head, and I just was like, "Well, fuck it then. Let's just do this."
dude, I, I could still to this day picture you on stage and that the Hollywood Improv in Fort Lauderdale, which is gone now. It
Yeah.
was a great room, but that's what we got, which are our open mics we used to hit and shit, and with them. But dude, you were just set up and you had that fucking pause in your face, and you could just tell you were searching. You went, you know what? and we go, Oh, here it goes. Here we
Here we
fucking
go.
go.
Here goes Gene.
Yeah, and so much for clean. And dude, it was
But
fucking memory of
but
that,
somebody
dude.
somebody told me though that the pastor was in the back dying.
Right. Yeah, it's usually the
No, I
case.
believe it.
A lot of those times, a lot of those times they say they want you to be clean. Most of the audience is like, "What? Why the fuck are we so clean?"
I've
Yeah,
had. So I got my alarm set. That's what you're hearing. It's not like anybody's calling me, but the alarm doesn't care about uh do not disturb. Let me turn this whole thing off because it's snoozing me. Um,
and when
there we go.
and your phone and when your phone rings, does it sound like an alarm? You haven't like switched. You know what I mean? You got the ringer tone on the fucking alarm, but
Oh
you
no,
got
but
the
I
alarm
use that on
rattle.
I use that on everything because it's the loudest thing.
Yeah. All right.
That
So
old phone is obnoxious.
yeah. So, dude, we were talking about that being clean, but so it's dirty at 12:30. You have to, can you be dirty enough? You know what I mean? That was the funny difference. You normally have to be clean. Can I be clean enough? This was like, am I going to be dirty enough? And so that was awesome, because the last time I did it once before, and Gabe, who hosted, it's his room, went up and did like 3 minutes, and then he fucking brought me up. I'm like, oh shit, and I just had to. So I did all right, but I didn't fucking nothing I'd want to remember.
What
And
this last
so
time or the
I think
first time?
the first time. The first
Right.
time I did years ago, and that's when Steve Trevino closed. It's the first time I met Steve Trevino was there, uh, and he came up. Steve came up. I liked your closer, but I thought I did all right, But it wasn't like, oh fuck, this guy's gonna have me back. It was like I battled to get him. So all six of us in the back in the green room they're all like, "Oh, what are we gonna do? We're gonna do our same set, our 10 minutes. We're gonna practice it again." I'm like, "Dude, I'm gonna fucking have fun. I'm gonna do whatever the fuck I want," you know. So I got a little dirty.
Yeah, I mean, I like that some of the other guys was working on their set, but like, I wanted some of them to kind of like roll their sleeves up and get dirty.
Yeah, yeah.
The crowd
I
wanted
got a
that
good.
too.
I got good feedback from everybody. It seemed to see that I felt good. That was one of those sets I felt good about, like you said,
Yeah,
because when I was in the semifinals round, my 10 minute set in that semifinal round, I felt good about it, but I wasn't going to be disappointed had I not. You know what I mean? You have that moment too, like because I think almost every comic that night had him and lost him, had him, and it was like weird. It wasn't like everybody.
it
It was one
was.
of those nights like the night before where everything was up here and that fucking
Yeah,
rallied and every comic had it and then it fell back and then went up and so it was
yeah.
interesting. But if I could,
Even
but
even
yeah,
some of my favorite comics didn't like really. It was like, yeah, it was that roller coaster.
it was a weird show. But yeah, if you can, you mentioned the satellites are great as a comic because if you want to work a room, you can either email them 1,000 fucking emails over the next 5 years and hope they see you. Bug a headliner to have you come do a guest spot when they're there at that club, or you can just go and sign up for the World Series of Comedy and sign up for the satellites in the clubs you want to work, and you'll get the showcase and do your thing. And here's the most important about that thing, and I'm sure my good friend Gene will mention this: don't suck. Okay, just don't
That
suck.
part.
Just don't. You know what I mean? If you suck, and be real. Like, Gene, how many comics that just aren't? They're delusional. You know a lot of delusional
Oh, a
comics
lot
that
of
think
them.
they're fuck.
A lot of them. And they get off the stage with this. Oh man, I see a lot of them down here in Miami still. That's why I stay home a lot,
Well,
man. I just
Miami's got a reputation now in South Florida comedy as comics that all do crowd work. They don't really have an act. A lot of them are doing crowd work. Um,
yeah, because they catching on that social media vibe right now.
yeah, yeah. Any thoughts on crowd work? Any advice or any fucking thoughts on it?
I love crowd work from a comic that got strong material. Like if I already know you could bang us and you can just bull through a set, whether it's good or bad, you got jokes. I I love the crowd work. I don't like the crowd work if that's all you're giving me. Now, some
Yeah,
people like
yeah,
that. Some people like that. A lot of audience members just like that part. They just love the freestyle of it. And again, I don't mind that either. When I trust that this dude, even without this crowd work, he was going to be good. But if I just see you
yeah,
and all you are is crowd work, you never sat down and thought about a joke or, uh, put some ideas together, then I'd be like, because the
yeah,
crowd work could
yeah,
get easy once you start getting good at how to ask the questions. The crowd does the work.
yeah, yeah, yeah. They're your muse. They're your vault of information.
The
And a
crowd
lot of
does the
comedy
work.
clubs don't like it. A lot of comedy clubs don't like it, especially if you're an opening act. Headliners
Yeah.
can get away if they want. All right. Let me ask you a question. This is a little deeper inside of it. Do you want to talk about adversity and how motivating it can be?
What kind of adversity?
Well, adversity.
That's a
It's
very
things that
abstract
fucking
question.
things that hit us in the face, things that
As
stop
far as
us.
comedy?
It's fine as life. You know what I mean? Like you and I talked about shit. You and I both been some fucking through some life events in the last recent times.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
you know what I mean. So something bad happens. So something comes up, and some people crawl into a shell or fucking you and I had a good conversation about that. So
yo,
wanted to see if you had any thoughts on that.
yeah. Crawling into a shell is a very comfortable thing to do. Like
Yeah,
I I did it most of my life. I ran from adversity. I ran from pursuing my dreams with steam. Like I was lucky enough to be strong enough in a lot of ways that I could float through, and that's all I did. I coasted,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
but so at the time when I was coasting and I was barely like passing college classes, or barely saving a relationship, or barely keeping a job, I would think that, oh, all right, that this is, I'm just a lucky dude, blah blah blah. But I wasn't. I was a coward. Like, I wasn't turning around. I wasn't facing what I was supposed to be facing. Like the whatever
Yeah.
trauma or fear, whatever it was, we didn't even get to the bottom of that yet. But something I realized after I started going through all this real drama in my life this past couple of years, that one, I couldn't physically run anymore because, you know, I got into some trouble, and so I couldn't go anywhere. And then I was forced to be home by myself with my thoughts. And then that's when, like, whatever beauty and love and future and darkness and truth that was in my world, I was forced to look at it and deal with it over a period of time these past couple of
Right.
years. And that was when I looked at all of my inventory of my emotional inventory. And I was like, wow, some of the people and some of the things that I was afraid of, one, they weren't even in the room. Two, they weren't even real. Three, they weren't that scary. And so when I
Right.
when I finally turned the lights on in my life, I looked around like, oh, these things that I was afraid of, that I ran from, weren't that terrible. And so that's me
Right.
now, second coming of Gene Harding.
Well, let me
That's
give
how
you a
I feel.
byproduct. Let me give you a byproduct of that transformation and that evolution, right? Of your being. Ben, this is Sessions with Gene, which is, you got to go to Gene's IG, Instagram, and follow this because I love it. Run this clip.
How you doing, Gene? Welcome back. What up, Doc? Hey, last time I was here, you said I could talk about anything in these sessions. Anything you want. All right, bet. Why Apple be making these AirPods so bouncy? Like, they ain't no reason for it. I dropped my joints on my way here. One of them fell under the sink. The other one is in my neighbor's yard. Ain't no reason for it. They just got too much bounce. It's like a spoiled dean. I just don't need that, and I don't understand it. I got an Android, so you got an Android? You should have told me that before I signed up for these sessions. Why? Because Android is trash. Anybody with an Android don't got no goals. I feel like your favorite superhero is Robin. You probably got a Catwoman tattoo behind your left earlobe. I don't know. Android just, our camera is better than yours. The only reason why I would use an Android phone is to take a picture of my iPhone. I feel like Polaroid and the Beeper had a baby and named it Android. I feel like Android's headquarters is Area 51. I feel like
That's it.
where are you going now? I'm just
Ben,
playing.
let him go. Leave him wanting more. Ben, let me get back to fucking dude. How fucking funny is that, dude? I mean, you know what I mean? Fucking cracking up at this shit. So you got to go to where's your Instagram, Gene?
At Gene Harding, Gene Harding, like Tanya.
Yeah, there's a few episodes. Go check them out. But that dude, how fucking, one is under the sink, the other one's in my neighbor's yard. I mean, motherfucker, like,
I don't know if that ever
dude,
happened to
true,
you, but the shit is real.
dude.
If
That's
your
why I'm laughing
AirPods hit
so
the
hard.
Yeah, your AirPods hit the floor, trust me, they are in an air balloon somewhere else.
And that's what shot down the fucking Chinese balloon. Somebody dropped their fucking earpod
Right,
and it bounced off the tile floor of a fucking
right,
bathroom in Queens.
right.
Um, yeah, dude. I mean, that's just good shit. And because a lot of times, I mean, we live in an age where young people just, you can't tell them shit. You can't tell somebody, hey, that wasn't good. You need to fucking get better. Or you need to get your shit straight. Like, God bless, you can tell anybody that without them hating you or then cursing you, and not only doing that, but then telling other people you're a fucking asshole because you're just trying to help them out. So, it's that ability in a human being to be able to say, fuck it, I don't like the way things are going, recognizing it. When I was 30, one of the things I mantras I went was with that old saying: to know oneself is to know God. So when you know what you can do, can't do, and you know what you really your fucking problems are, your challenges are, you start fucking, all right, I can deal with it. You're not scared to go, I'm not, you just
Right.
realize it and you start dealing with it. So I that's why I was proud of that. And I thought it's fucking funny as shit. So
Thank you,
well
man.
done.
And
How many
so, but
sessions you up to now?
as of this airing, 24, 20, yeah, 24, 23.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Has it helped? Has it
Um,
helped the following? Is it more and more people coming on?
I get it trickles. I get one new follower a day, but this hold on. This is the see if you can see it. No, you can't see it.
Yeah, it's too bright. Oh,
That's
yeah.
this is my vision
That's the
board.
mantra. Yeah.
This is my
That's the
vision
way to
board.
go, man. Yeah. Well,
So
you're on track, dude. You're on track.
I appreciate
And
it, man.
like,
But back to what you were saying before about that, like, so that just to tie it all into your original question. So sessions came about because of the adversity I was facing that I put on myself, and it was like my back was against the wall. I just swung. That's all this is. I'm just swinging my
yeah.
bat, and I'm enjoying it. So that's a good start. Like if you having fun with your comedy, if you having fun with your career choice, if you having fun with whatever it is you're doing, that's the best, if not the most important start. And then everything else, should be all right. So I'm
Yeah.
enjoying sessions a lot. You got to see me laughing by myself, just filming this stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, well, that's funny, dude. If you ever need a voiceover, I can do a doctor's voice. I'll give you
Yeah,
a new
that's
doc.
just what I need.
You get a new doc. Doc, I had to get rid of the other doc. Yeah, what's the problem with this?
Yeah, we killed them.
What's wrong with him? Yeah, sorry, I charge less money.
Right.
Tell me more, Gene. Tell me more, Gene. Um, all right. Well, that's awesome, dude. And you know what? Here's again to wrap up the whole thing about comedy. That was the best feeling in the world. I was talking a little about it earlier, but this, because I can't tell you how many, when a few of the people I just met, like industry and stuff, this weekend, at the festival, they had heard about the passing of my wife, and that people I didn't even know coming up hugging me and shit, and all that kind of stuff. So just these people are, and then you go to Vegas. Like when I go to Vegas, next thing you know, you go, oh, I'll put you up, and there's nothing better when you go into a room and somebody says, oh, I'll get you guys, and you piss off like 10 comics that are all waiting in a line, and they throw you up on the fucking stage.
Oh yeah, that was
You know,
that night you did that show. I was at the other show, right? How was yours?
it was good, but that was the night I left my cell phone in my car in the Uber.
In Uber,
Listen,
yeah.
if you leave your cell phone in a fucking Uber and you don't have a backup, internet, fucking iPad or something you can get on and sign back onto Uber, you're fucked. I had to go back to the hotel, get on my laptop. I mean, thank God somebody found it, but
Oh, because you got an
nevertheless.
Android, right?
No, I have an iPhone, dude. I have an iPhone.
Oh, you don't got to watch Find My
No, I gotta. This is not a. I don't think
useless.
that's an iPhone. Yeah.
If that's a Rolex,
But
it's
all right.
useless.
Hey, yeah, it is. Hey, by the way, it's time for Did You Hear? This is when Gina and I go over some stories from around the world, and of course, try to make some fun of it. No real difficulty having fun with the Florida man story, and of course, we have a few. I saved some for the last couple of weeks. But Florida man caught on video allegedly injecting chemical agent under a neighbor's door, making family with baby sick. First of all, if anybody's thinking about doing such thing, realize ring cameras all over the fucking world. You know what I mean?
My dude. Listen, if you have to be stupid to even leave your house and think that you're not being caught somewhere on camera. That's
Yeah.
one. And
Yeah.
then two, you go to a residence where, first of all, you ain't. That I'm just glad they caught him. I'm glad. I like when people like that get caught because that's just kind of shit that, like, you know what I'm saying? It's just, first of all,
Like
who has those
how
chemicals
upset
at
is
their
it?
house?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't want to say anything, but there's an Asian fella. If you look at the story, it's an Asian fella. So I don't know if he has chemical engineering background, and he's got like a system, like a vent system, like an injection. You know, like how pissed off. Like, what did this person do to you? This person. You know what I mean. That's what I'm saying. We were talking
Nah,
before the
well,
show about home wreckers. You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like,
Well, at
you
least
really
they
want to be in
got
that
this
day and age.
dude. It's just I saw it. I'm like, yo, dude. Like, well, that's the kind of dude that'll probably shot up a school anyway. So I'm glad they got him off that.
Yeah, Zuming Lee, 36, was seen injecting a liquid under the neighboring family's door at Oxford Place in Tampa Palms.
Oh yeah, you getting beat up.
Um, the liquid tested positive for narcotics, methadone and hydrocodone. Sorry.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I showed them. They get fucked up.
Yo,
Um,
that's crazy. And they said he was doing it a few times. He did it a few times. Like
yeah.
that, the ring camera only came after they done inhaled
Oh
his
yeah.
shit a few. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying?
Somebody got suspicion, said, "I'm going to set up a camera to see what's going on."
Yeah. But they
And so
got his
yeah.
ass.
So not only
You know what's so
how
crazy? You know what's
smart
so
is it?
crazy about that? You know what's so crazy about that? They fucking used a camera to catch the dude. The dude that they caught made the camera. He was Chinese.
Yeah. Hey.
They caught him with his own shit.
Yeah. Technology suck.
Yeah.
Not much of a difference. Our next story: Gardener catches nightmare neighbor poisoning their plants in broad daylight. I mean, come on, what the fuck
That's
is
an old white
wrong?
woman. That's an old white
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
That's
Who
guaranteed.
else?
That's an old white woman.
Or
Who kills
or a gay man,
vegetables?
or an older single gay man. It's got to be one
Never.
of the two.
No gay
Mm.
man will ever kill fresh zucchini.
No, well, not the zucchini, but perhaps some daffodils or some
Nah,
dandelions.
they
No.
not on flowers. Not the gay dude. That is an old. That's an old white lady. She ain't got dick down in years, and that's her killing vegetables. That's
Oh my
another. That's
god.
another
I mean,
level.
it is fucked up. You know what I mean? That's why I'm saying I don't want to give anybody a reason to fuck with me. You know what I mean? I mean,
You do
I'm
every day, Doug.
outspoken.
Yeah,
I
I'm about
know,
to
I know.
say you do every
I'm out,
day.
I'm outspoken. I mean, I listen, but whenever I'm outspoken, who knows? I'm going to speak about people. Yeah, I know a little bit about. I'm not people don't know their background. All right. Here's another Florida man story. Florida man and woman were doing stretches by a pool, cops say. Then came the attack. Now, I assume you read the story, Gene. This is because I want to
I
have your
did.
bit of an interpretation here. As a man, as a player, I mean, you are a ladies' man. I mean, you are a coxman. I'll give you that. As long as I've known you, you know what I mean. But if you read the story, basically, the story basically reads: Woman sees a man and a woman at 2:30 in the morning stretching by the pool. 2:30 in the morning, goes down and basically assaults the woman stretching and the man too. And it turns out, if you read the story, but the woman is in a relationship with the man. The woman who struck the other woman is in a relationship with the other man, if I read it correctly. So, you know,
No. Wait.
hmm
The slapper is in a relationship with the male slappee.
the accused woman who had been detained in the back of the patrol car was taken into custody at the blah, 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 blah. What was it?
Yes, I don't think they're together.
No, they said they were partners.
Yeah, the couple that got slapped. The couple that got
Okay,
part, they
whatever.
in a domestic. The couple that got slapped, they're in a domestic relationship, and they were stretching, and a lady came over and slapped them. And but what they don't say is that lady was the lady from the garden.
Well, this is the thing, which he
No,
said,
which
which noted that he was, here's the quote, which noted that he was in a domestic relationship with the defendant. So the defendant is the person who is striking the person.
It said defendant
Yeah.
or
The deputy wrote
defender.
that the victim
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
had a red mark on her face consistent with the account, and then made contact with the male victim, who agreed that the suspect was pissed off. She attacked us, alleged the man, whose name was redacted in the report, which noted that he was in a domestic relationship with the defendant. The
Oh,
defendant means the charged.
well, that's a stupid ass story. Then that was you over here doing downward dog with a strange bitch at the airport.
Which,
Oh, okay.
you know, if you read, the funny thing about this story, this is an important. That's what I'm saying. The interpretation of the story. That's why people are, most. And I'm like, well, if it's like if I'm downstairs stretching with some hot bitch, and my wife had seen me from upstairs at 2:30 in the morning stretching, you know what I mean? She's gonna come down and beat the fuck out of somebody too. You know what I mean? I mean, she probably beat the shit out of
Everybody's
me.
getting stretched.
Yeah, everybody's going to get stretched then. Interesting the way that was written, and I'm glad see how easily that was misinterpreted. This story, by the way, went around viral for a while. High school band director was tased by cops at a football game after he refused orders to stop the music. Stop the fucking music. I don't know if you saw this story, but it went nuts, and of course, police asked the guy to stop. He didn't. I'm going to keep fucking playing, and he got the fuck tased out of him. And I don't know, who am I to say? But if I'm playing a trumpet, and a cop says stop the fucking playing, I'm like, all right, I'm going to stop playing. What am I going to do? But
I mean, there could be more to that story, but the way that story was written, it looked like everybody was supposed to stop playing so that they could clear out the stadium. And this band
right,
decided to not stop, blah, 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 right? But
right,
I don't know if it could have meant that every other band or the other band had a longer time to perform and this band didn't.
yeah,
Maybe the cop was overreactive in the way he was telling them. Who knows? It could be a bunch of things. All I know is, one, I'm glad it was only a taser.
yeah, yeah,
Let's
yeah. I
start
agree.
there. And
Yeah,
two,
yeah, that's
um,
better.
and two, I'm thinking a taser might be the way to go, man. There's a couple of people on this planet that
Yeah,
just need a good tasing. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I think a lot of people. I agree. I think a lot of people need to be tased. And listen, if you got tased for something you shouldn't have done, you probably did something a while back you deserved it for. So just fucking chalk it up for that. World would be a more
Or
understanding place.
or you're a good person and all you got was tased.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
I mean,
saying?
you now the guy supposedly, I heard stories. The guy's claiming he's having a hard time lifting his hands to lead the band now, which could be a disability. Oddly enough, I can't do that. The one
Wow.
thing I need to do. Yeah, who knows? I mean, I would be doing the same thing, sue the shit out of these people. I mean,
Right, right, right.
especially if it's true. But my thought was maybe the cop was like not in band; he was in orchestra. Like he played the violin. He said, "Fuck you, fucking brass guys, and you fucking percussion motherfuckers," and he just got pissed. Another story: a San Francisco bakery is refusing to serve police officers because its policy doesn't allow guns inside the store. Listen, I don't know why any police officer goes to any of these fast food places anymore. If I was a cop, I would not trust anybody at a fast food, one way or the other. But you know what? I mean, that's kind of fucked up. Obviously, the cop has not going to leave the gun in the car when they go in to get a fucking donut.
Look, first of all, first of all, uh, it wasn't just a fast food. It was a donut spot. So that's the police headquarters, right?
Yeah,
But second is that lady or whoever that person was fucked up. They fucked up because if they ever get robbed and somebody calls
yeah,
911 from that address, them cops are gonna pull up 45 minutes later with fresh donuts.
yeah.
outside of her building eating at her. You called?
Yeah. I got to finish this.
All
Oh
right,
my
hold
God!
on. Okay, you can talk.
Somebody at the after party brought these fucking special donuts and cut them up in pieces. And thank you for cutting up in pieces, so I couldn't eat a whole one, but I did eat half eventually. Um, So yeah, good for that. All right, next story: lesbian speed dating event can ban trans women. Listen, when it comes down to it, even the lesbians are going, look, you can't be a man who thinks he's a woman and coming to a lesbian speed dating. A lot of people are nervous to talk about the subject. And I say, I always share my feelings. Number one, I don't think trans women should compete in women's sports. I think it's unfair to biological women. I'm going to say that, but everybody, I'm not an asshole. I'm all for trans women competing in women's beauty pageants, because if a dude can out hot a fucking woman, God bless that brother. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a fucking achievement. I don't need to know a dude can out bench or out fucking swim another, a woman. But if you can
Right,
look hotter and you can almost get me to give you a blowjob on South Beach on one ecstasy pill, then I give you the thumbs up.
right. Yeah, no, sorry, I just got bombarded.
Yeah, you like playing
Um,
musical podcasts.
yeah, that was my fault. My fault. There's a lot going on in the world of Gene Harding. But here's the thing though. Like I like inclusion. I like everybody feeling fair and feeling like they pursuing or they're doing whatever it is that they want. But I'm down with these lesbians right now because they are they are showing the world we don't care about civil rights, we don't care about justice, we don't care about the law. We hate dick that much.
Yeah, be consistent. It's amazing.
Yeah. We
Yeah,
listen, we will fight, but we will bring no balls in this establishment.
yeah.
And you know what? Go ahead.
I
I ain't
think it's
mad at
great.
that.
That's it. When it all comes down to everybody's their own lifestyle, it's a moment where you say, okay, I'm going to tolerate it or not tolerate it, and so it's definitely. Our last story is more. I'm going to put Detective Gene on this again, but woman loses toe inside Las Vegas Strip hotel room after she tells man $200 is not enough. And if you've ever hired a professional in the city of Las Vegas, um, then you know that whatever the price is you thought it was is just the opening bid. It is the it is the cover charge. It is the it is not the
Yeah.
full
Well,
price.
that poor dude found out the hard way.
Yeah, and that's what happened in this story. The story tries to read is that they got into a discussion about how much is it to to come, and I guess so. That's what it comes down to. But and then they got in an argument. He says, "Look, I'm not paying you anymore," and she says, "Well, look, you don't understand how this thing works, right?" I mean, that's what happened here.
Yeah, but here's the thing about that story. Why it said the lady lost a whole toe. Like nobody, there was nothing about severing, cutting, slicing, stabbing. There was none of that. The lady just lost her toe. Like so, it just leads me to question like how sturdy were those toes? Like how you lost a whole toe? You know what I mean? Broken, cool. Ripped, but you lost it. They found the toe inside the hotel room.
Yeah. Well, my impression, because I'm pretty good about this. I watch a lot of CSI and shit. So I'm pretty sure what happened was he was pushing her the fuck out of the building, getting her out of the room. Get the fuck out! I'm not giving you any money. Get the fuck out! And they fought. And then she did the old she's out of the room, right? And all of a sudden, she's about to shut the door, and she's like, sticks that fucking
And
big toe in there to stop the door, and pop.
and then but it took the toe off? What door was
Yeah.
this?
You ever see a hotel door, man? This ain't like,
Dude, listen, the only door that could do that was the vault in the inside man. That
Yeah.
I could see taking off a whole toe.
I'll take off your
Not
fucking
a
leg.
door. Yeah, but not a door at the Travel Lodge off the strip in Vegas.
Yeah. Well,
No.
I don't know, but that's my story. And listen, for those of you going to go to Vegas, not that we know, and thank God, this did happen weeks before Gina and I were there. We had nothing to do with this shit. I would just pay
They
the
won't
bitch
go.
the
I'll
money and
still
get
get
it over with.
arrested.
Yeah, I have the money. I'll take care of it. So, all right. Before we close the show, we do a segment called "Let's Associate." This is where I say a word or phrase and ask our guest, Gene today, what the first thought, story, feeling, whatever you want to say from it, whatever the phrase or word basically inspires you to do.
Inspires.
Let's do it. We got a couple minutes. The first expression is Buffalo Soldier.
Dreadlock Rasta. Uh, Buffalo Soldier is what I've called a few women I dated in my life.
Listen, if take us back in time to the World Series of Comedy, which obviously I think it may have been the same World Series of Comedy main event where John Wynn showed his toes to Tricks. And you found out that story before I fucking found out that story where John Wynn has been in this and here told this story. I think it happened. Remember, we were at this party and there was these big women, and you said, I'm being tracked by these Buffalo Soldiers. Remember we were at the party and those two girls, and I remember fucking saying, Buffalo, what the fuck are you talking about? Thank you very much. Our second expression is bitch ass. Bitch ass.
Bitch ass. What does that conjure up? Dudes I don't like.
Yeah.
That's all I think of. If you get that term bitch ass, then you demoted to a level you can't unbury.
Yeah. Bitch ass is somebody who's a bitch and an ass. And you know what I mean? That takes a lot. It takes a lot to be a bitch, first of all. And then an ass. Bitch ass.
A bitch
Right?
ass, yeah. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
fucking not used often enough, I think, in today's day and age. Our third word is shady.
Shady could be tied with bitch ass.
Yeah.
Because if you do some shady shit to me, I'm looking at you like you bitch ass. You
Yeah,
know what I
I
mean?
get it. They kind of maybe that's why I had them put together in my mind.
Yeah.
Our fourth expression, best set ever.
Oh, that shit. I could feel like that often. Like, nah, that's not true. I got maybe three in my head that were the best set ever.
Yeah.
I don't know what they are, but I think I got three.
All right. And our last expression, deal breaker.
A deal breaker. That's it. I'm cool. I've used that a lot. That's a deal breaker. That's a red flag. That's
Yeah.
like, I'm cool. Or you know how you see a baddie, she got everything, and then I don't know what's a deal breaker. I was gonna say she don't got all her toes, but that's not true.
You're all right with
That's
that?
not true. I done smashed the two
She ain't
a
gonna play
time or
co-ed
two.
kick. She's not playing co-ed kickball with you. Oh, I
Right.
can't bring my girl to co-ed kickball. Why? She's missing her big ass toe. She couldn't
No,
accept
I
two
don't. I
hundred
don't.
dollars.
The kind of girl that only wears mittens, trying to hide that missing finger. I don't know what a deal breaker is for me. I know I
Yeah,
got them because I don't
yeah,
tolerate a lot of stuff no more. But
yeah. Bad breath. One.
yep.
Um, I don't like. I'm a deal breaker for me is a woman that has that hook in her nose, like a fucking ox, like a fucking cow.
Oh, word. Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
yeah, I'm yeah,
yeah.
chest like a big ass chest tattoo. That's a relationship deal breaker. It's not I'll fuck deal breaker. I'll fuck a girl with a chest tattoo, but I will not go out with her. Seriously.
Right.
I just couldn't go to dinner and see her, have people look at that fucking chest tattoo. I'm like, yeah, that's my girl.
Oh, what about
All
what
right.
about the tattoos with other dudes' names on them?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Deal breaker.
You might as well just display a list of how many times you guys fucked every time I see you. You might as well go, hey, I fucked Bill 1,800 times over the last 9 years. Now I'm with you.
Yeah,
Anyway,
no thanks.
that's all we have time for here on the Wake Up Late with Dougie show. I want to thank my good friend Gene Hardy for joining us today on the Wake Up Late with Dougie show, buddy. And
Yo,
again, tell him
glad to be
tell
here.
him how to get on the Instagram, sessions with Gene, and anywhere else, anything else coming up you want to share.
Why are you talking like an old man? You can get on the
I don't know.
Facebook. You can get on the book face. The Instagram is at Gene Harding, Gene Harding, Harding, at Gene Harding on Instagram, Facebook, Tinder.
There you go. Well, thanks, but I appreciate it, and had a great time hanging with you in the Strat Hotel, where you basically stay at the hotel and never walk outside unless you want to die. I'm glad to finally be back. Sorry, we were coming in every once in a while. Things get busy, and we got a lot of traveling coming up, so we're going to try to get some other shows to you every once in a while. So stay tuned for more, and be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. Make a comment on the show. And lastly, this Wednesday through Sunday, I am going to be at the Comedy Zone in the Harrah's Cherokee Casino Resort in Cherokee, North Carolina, opening for my good friend Sean Jones, Wednesday through Sunday, 7:00 shows, one show a night. Go to DougieImade.com for more dates. Thank you. God bless. Stay well, and we'll see you next time right here at the same spot.